Welcome back to SeeStew. Today, we're diving into some lesser-known aspects of one of America's most controversial figures, Robert E. Lee. While most people know Lee as the Confederate general who led the Southern forces during the Civil War, there's so much more to his story. From surprising family ties to his life after the war, Lee's life was filled with fascinating details that history books often overlook. So sit back and join us as we reveal the top 10 unknown facts about Robert E. Lee. Fact 10. Lee's early years in the military as an engineer. Before Lee became a military leader, he was a highly skilled engineer in the U.S. Army. After graduating from West Point, Lee was quickly recognized for his talent and put to work on infrastructure projects that were critical to the young nation. He helped improve the St. Louis Harbor, which was crucial for westward expansion, and worked on New York's coastal defenses. These projects honed his skills in logistics, planning, and strategy, skills that would later influence his approach to the Civil War. Fact 9. Lee was a reluctant secessionist. One surprising fact about Robert E. Lee is that he initially opposed the secession of Southern states from the Union. Lee believed in the importance of a unified nation and wrestled with his own conscience before ultimately siding with the Confederacy. His decision to join the Southern cause came from his loyalty to his home state of Virginia. When Virginia seceded, Lee felt he could not fight against his fellow Virginians, so he resigned from the U.S. Army, a choice that would change the course of American history. Fact 8. Married into the family of George Washington, Lee was not only a prominent military figure but also part of a significant American lineage. He married Mary Custis, the great-granddaughter of Martha Washington, which connected him to the legacy of America's first president. This connection also came with responsibility. Lee managed Arlington House, the Custis family estate that later became Arlington National Cemetery. During the war, the Union confiscated the estate, symbolically using the land for Union burials to ensure Lee could never return. Fact 7. Lee's views on slavery were complex and contradictory. Despite his role in the Confederacy, Lee's views on slavery were complex and somewhat contradictory. In private letters, he described slavery as a moral and political evil, yet he still managed enslaved people on his wife's inherited estate. Lee did ultimately free those enslaved at Arlington, but only after legal obligations required it. His views on slavery were often ambiguous. He didn't support immediate abolition and thought emancipation would come gradually, guided by what he called providence. Fact 6. Lee was offered command of the Union Army. Just before Virginia seceded, President Abraham Lincoln offered Lee command of the Union Army. This invitation put Lee in an agonizing position. He respected the Union, and the offer was a rare honor. However, his loyalty to Virginia ultimately won out, and he turned down the offer. In a pivotal decision that altered the course of the war, Lee chose to align with the Confederacy, a move that many historians consider one of the war's defining moments. Fact 5. Lee opposed building monuments to the Confederacy. Though Lee's name would eventually become synonymous with Confederate monuments, he actually discouraged their creation. After the war, he believed that memorials commemorating the Confederacy would hinder national healing. In a letter, he expressed his concern that Confederate monuments would reignite the pain of the past and delay reconciliation. Despite his wishes, statues of Lee became a focal point of post-war memory, leading to much of today's debate over Confederate symbols. Fact 4. Lee was a brilliant student with a remarkable record at West Point. One of the lesser-known facts about Lee's early life is his exceptional record at West Point. In 1829, Lee graduated second in his class without a single demerit, an impressive feat at a time when strict discipline was paramount. His spotless record reflected his discipline, intelligence, and commitment, all qualities that laid the foundation for his military career. Lee's achievements at West Point were recognized with high praise, forecasting his future as a leader. Fact 3. Known for promoting post-war reconciliation, after the Confederacy's defeat, Lee didn't retreat from public life. Instead, he encouraged Southerners to accept the Union's victory and work toward reconciliation. As president of Washington College, now Washington and Lee University, Lee focused on rebuilding the South through education and unity. His work at the college helped reestablish its reputation and guided many young Southern men toward productive lives after the war. Lee's commitment to reconciliation made him a significant figure in the South's post-war recovery. Fact 2. Lee innovated military tactics still studied today. Lee's approach to military strategy was groundbreaking. He often relied on defensive tactics, particularly when outnumbered. Lee's use of trench warfare and defensive entrenchments helped him achieve several victories despite limited resources. These tactics, seen in battles like Fredericksburg, were innovative at the time and influenced the evolution of military strategy. Today, his tactical approaches are still studied by military historians and strategists worldwide. Fact 1. The legacy of Arlington House and Arlington Cemetery. One of the most significant legacies Lee left behind is Arlington House, which became Arlington National Cemetery. During the Civil War, the Union government confiscated the Custis estate and repurposed it as a military cemetery. This decision symbolized that Lee could never return to his family's estate. Today, Arlington National Cemetery serves as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices of U.S. soldiers and is one of the most revered burial grounds in the nation. Ironically, the land once managed by a Confederate general now honors those who fought for the United States. Conclusion: Robert E. Lee's story is filled with contradictions and complexities. From his early engineering career to his role in post-war education, each of these facts sheds light on a different side of him. Whether viewed as a brilliant tactician, a reluctant secessionist, or a man of conflicting principles, Lee's legacy remains one of the most debated in American history. Thank you for watching SeeStew. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating insights into history's most influential figures. See you next time.